What's up everyone, TJ here, and welcome to my snowboard review of the Capita Mercury. Let's get into it. All right guys, real quick for your reference before I jump into the specs. I'm 5'10", I weigh around 155 pounds, and I tested this snowboard in size 155. And if you're curious about any of the other gear that I'm running, this is all gonna be linked down below the video for you to check out. Now, the Capita Mercury is an all-mountain focused snowboard on the Capita lineup, designed with versatility in mind. It does have some light directionality to the design, although it's a pretty twinish snowboard overall. You're gonna get a little bit more material up front here, outside the front contact points, just a little bit of a longer nose versus the tail. And at the reference stance, the inserts are shifted a little bit closer to the tail. So there's about a ½ inch setback in this snowboard as well, but no taper. That's all the directionality in this one. You're gonna get Capita's Resort V2 profile. So this is a camber dominant profile, gonna give you that more energetic, precise feel. But it does have a little bit of reverse blend in the bend of the snowboard. So it's camber out to about the insert packs, and they're gonna get a reverse blend out into the tips. Just make it a little bit easier to maneuver as a side effect, but gonna also help the board out in softer snow conditions. Other than that, you'll find Capita's carbon flax amplifier. So that's like some V-shaped strips here in both the nose and the tail, a combination of carbon fiber and flax. That carbon fiber is gonna help give the board more snap, pop, and energy, while the flax helps dampen things out a little bit and make the board ride a little bit smoother. You're also gonna find their Death Grip side cut. So all that means is that right in the middle of the side cut, there's a little slight bump that's gonna act as an additional contact point to help the board bite down in more firm conditions, or can even kind of be pivoted off of if you're really back foot heavy. Just some added versatility for all mountain performance out there. And this thing runs their Hyperdrive base as well, which is a sintered base material. You wanna make sure to wax this thing so it stays nice and fast through the season, but it's a dense, tough base that's gonna be fast out there, faster than an extruded base. So that's it for a tech breakdown. Let's jump into how this board feels out around the resort. All right, let's start the review talking about the overall flex and feel you're gonna get with the Capita Mercury. So I'd say flex-wise, this board sits a little on the stiffer side of medium, both lengthwise and torsionally. And while stability is not gonna be maxed out, it is gonna have a very confident feel as you're out there exploring, ripping around the resort, and maybe taking it to some more spicy zones. It's gonna feel solid under your feet, but it's still a lot of fun for butters and has a really good freestyle feel as well. I do want to quickly talk about just how it feels flexing the board. So doing ground tricks, I think, is the best way, my favorite way to feel this out. So just like sitting in a tail press, I think those reverse camber blends in both the tips really offer a surprising amount of leverage to get your presses looking good and also make it a lot easier. I think the balance point is really easy to find with the Mercury, playing around with all kinds of butters, whether you prefer just like sitting in a press or you like working on different butter combos. I think this is a board you're gonna be able to have a lot of fun with and get a surprising amount of flex out of it. And that's not to say that you're not loading tension in it. Like, you can feel the sturdiness of the board as you're pressing it, but you can still get those tricks looking really good. And going right along with that, as you're working on that kind of stuff, getting comfortable with how the board loads and those types of things, I think you're gonna find that this board does have a nice amount of pop and energy as well. Not quite on the same level as something in the DOA where there's a little bit more camber, and I think you can just manage that flex a little bit better, but still great pop out of the Mercury. I think you're gonna be happy with it. And when it comes to hitting park laps and using the Mercury as more of a freestyle board, I think that this thing does have a pretty solid all-around park feel to it. I rode it at the reference stance with that ½ inch setback, and I don't think that the directionality is gonna get in your way at all. Ride switch very comfortably. I literally never had a second thought about it. It felt really good at really anything that I threw at it. It's got plenty of stability to step up to some pretty big jumps, bigger features, bigger gaps. It's not gonna feel washy if you go a little bit deep. The stability's there. Although the reverse camber blend does maybe make it a little bit more loopy feeling than Capita's boards that do have camber all the way out to the tips, but not really at any very significant extent. And it's fun on the jibs too. I think it has a comfortable jib feel, locks in well 50-50, felt good sliding sideways. Definitely a board you could happily use as your park board year round in my opinion, but then have that added all mountain versatility to it. And when it comes to carving and exploring the resort, the Mercury is going to give you a very capable feel. It's one of those boards where you're never really worried about it, like the stability and the precision you need is there, but at the same time, it's pretty comfortable and manageable to control. So at size 155, you're going to get a 25.5 centimeter waist width, which is pretty average for the size. It kind of sits in that versatile range where it's not really going to be on your mind. And they do make this board in some wide sizes. So if you do have a larger boot size, they have that available for you. And you're going to find a 7.7 meter side cut, which again is in that very versatile range. Just feels good across a wide range of speeds. And I would say when you're out there ripping groomers on this thing, it holds a strong edge. That camber definitely comes through. Didn't really find much flutter in the tips as I started to go faster. I don't think that reverse camber was really making any kind of a compromise with edge hold and stability. And if I had to just quickly summarize the overall feel as you're exploring with the Mercury, I would say it's comfortable. You know, you can be getting in the trees, be getting in the alpine, even taking this thing out on a POW day, and it's got something to offer for you. It definitely hits that sweet spot of stability and precision and ease of use. And I also want to quickly talk about how this board feels in powder before we wrap this thing up. And I think for like an average resort POW day, or maybe you're riding like 8 or 10 inches of fresh snow, the Mercury is definitely going to give you a great benefit over a standard twin. That reverse camber, the slight directionality is noticeable and is going to make that day a little bit more enjoyable for you. But I was able to take this board out in some like proper bottomless conditions in the Colorado backcountry as well. At this size, I think I'd prefer to set the stance back quite a bit on a really deep day. Especially, you know, here in Colorado, we have that light, dry type snow, so it doesn't provide a ton of buoyancy compared to snow with higher moisture. But it definitely had a good feel in POW. Definitely is going to offer a benefit for you there. I wanted a little bit more, I would say, so I'll leave you with this. If you're looking at the Mercury as like an all mountain board that you still want to get freestyle with, I would go with the 55 at my size. I think it was just an absolute treat. Ripping around the mountain, hitting the park, and even riding POW with it. I think the versatility is great. But if you're gonna use this thing as more of a proper all mountain board, you're just exploring the resort, you're gonna use it as a POW board as well, I'd size up. So I did take the Mega Mercury 57 out because I knew that was kind of more the direction I was gonna take that board. And I also got that in the backcountry, and the float was noticeably better. So that would be my piece of advice there for you as far as choosing what size you want. But overall, the Mercury is really versatile. It has a little bit of something in the design to help you out, regardless of where you take it, while still retaining a very freestyle character at heart. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, you like the sound of that versatility, but you still want to get freestyly, or you know, maybe you want to go to straight all mountain with it, now you know what to do. So let me know what you think about the Capita Mercury down in the comments if you've had a chance to ride this thing. And if you got some value, please drop a like before you leave. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future reviews. And we'll see you in a new one next time. Thank you guys.